Hi my loves, welcome back to another video. How's it going? How are you guys doing? I guess happy new year. Hopefully this year is amazing for everybody. Yeah, so today I've decided to do an intro for my Planet face palette. I'm a bit nervous to do this, but I've realised one of the things that I like the most and collected in my entire collection is face palettes, and I have so many of them, which I fail to understand why to begin with. So for that reason, I've decided that every year I'm going to kind of focusing on a specific face palette, whether it's the duo, which is the highlighter and blush, or like if it's got all three of them, highlighter, blush, bronzer, or just whichever one. It's a combination of the three together in some form. I've decided that because I don't prefer a face palette like that for many reasons. The main one being is a lot of the times there are shades that won't necessarily work for my skin tone, whether they're too deep, too light. But there are various reasons why I've decided that I'm no longer going to buy face palettes. I mean, I say that and then there's gonna be something I end up buying, or at least like limiting how much I am gonna buy each year. Because I feel like that would just make things a lot easier. So I have decided that I'm gonna pan my oldest face palette, and it's this one by Jouer Cosmetics, and it was the Champagne and Macaron palette. I'm not gonna lie, it's really nice. It's very pretty as well. It's obviously not for my skin tone, though it is very usable as well. So that's just what the actual shades look like. And the reason I say it's not very usable is because of that bronzer. Oops, the bronzer's over here, but that seems quite light for me on my skin tone anyway. And then one, I think it was a shimmer blush as well. I just don't feel like it'll look nice on my particular skin tone. I don't know, I've got to play around with it to figure that out. And yeah, so there's a lot of shades here which are quite interesting. This palette is literally 600 grams, so it's 4 grams per like product, which isn't too bad considering I've panned like 8 grams or like 7, 8 around that. Like I've panned a higher amount within a year, so I do think this will be fairly doable if I specifically focus in on this and don't focus on my other products, but do like a shot my stash or something along those lines, because I really would love this gone. It is also my oldest palette as well, so for that reason I don't really want it to be lingering around for another year. I did do swatches of the products and that's just what it looks like. Hopefully you can see that, but as you can tell, they're not really that great like swatches. They're not as pigmented as I would have hoped. So there's a highlighter, the matte blush, the shimmer blush, and the bronzer, but they just look like they're not even there. That's my biggest gripe with this palette. So I'm hoping, because they are so light, that I will be able to use up more product for that reason, and then be able to actually hit pan and use up the entire palette. So the ultimate goal is to literally finish each of the products and then have a completely empty palette by the end of the year, because that would just be amazing. Honestly, hands down, like the one thing I would really want to do. But the next goal after that would be, if I don't manage to use up all of these, I want to completely use up this bronzer. I want to hit pan in the shimmer blush. I want to fully use up this matte blush, and I want to hit pan in the highlighter as well, because I feel like that is still fairly doable rather than me trying to like hit pan and completely finish everything in this palette. This bronzer is fairly light, so I feel like this would be a good product to use. I literally tried like a different bronzer today and it's so deep for my skin and I didn't even realize that, so I think that bronzer has actually got to go. But yeah, I'm quite looking forward to using up these colors as well. And I think I've mentioned this before, but because it's only 4 grams per product, I do feel fairly optimistic about that. I just need to make sure that I have quite a few makeup days, and I do mainly focus on this palette rather than like trying to focus in on like another single blush or like a bronzer. And once I'm done with this palette, I most likely will just roll in another one, because I have plenty. I think I'm like close to like 20 face palettes or something silly like this. So I think it'll be good for me to use this up at least anyway, because there's plenty others to get through. But that's all for today's video. Hope you guys liked this little intro. But yeah, that's all for today. Hope you guys enjoyed this, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.